It is once again another rainy day in Pennsylvania. If you've been a resident of the state in the month of May, you have seen that it's been like 5 rainy days in a row, followed by like one nice day where you can go outside, get work done, spend time with your family, and then it's right back to 5 more rainy days inside, which is not common for here, especially this time of month. But we're getting through it, and I'm going to get through today's rainy day by sharing a haul with you. But before I get into this, and maybe a little bit more, I've got to talk about you, the viewer of this channel. I know it goes without saying, and you've seen it yourself, I'm sure, that we have a very supportive community here on this channel. And one person that stands out in particular is named Janelle. Her grandson is a little bit older than Clark Man. And as such, they share a lot of hobbies together. And they came across our channel at some point in time. And usually that would be where the story ends. You know, they watch our channel, enjoy it. But no, Janelle turns out to be one of our biggest supporters the last few years. She watches every vlog, comments all the time. She even goes over to our Lego channel, follows my Lego collecting, and now formerly organizing journey. I plan to get back into that, by the way. And then she's even on our gaming channel. She's in the live streams. Anytime I stream, she is there. I can always rely on her, and she's just a wonderful person. And she's even in our photo of the month club on Patreon. She's everywhere. Janelle is everywhere. And as such, she knows enough about me to know that I have some particular hobbies, and one that I got into last fall, she ended up finding something related to that, and she asked me if it would be okay to send it. And I said, of course, because well, we'll stay tuned. I have something extra to show you here, but Janelle sent this package over to us, and it's actually been a little bit. We're a little behind on such things, but you know what? Today is the perfect day. We'll call it the perfect day to open up a package from our good friend Janelle, friend of the channel, supporter extraordinaire. And I'm going to open this like a dingbat, but she has a note in here, and this says, take a look. It says, hey Greg, I found this at a yard sale and thought you might like it. It says not exactly starting lineup, but it's new and has his card. This is from Janelle. So Janelle ended up sending us a sports figure. This is Keepsake. It's an ornament featuring the one and only Larry Bird. Looking awesome on there. It is in the box, but I am going to open this. This is from Hallmark. I saw one of these before. It wasn't Larry Bird. It wasn't nearly as cool. It was actually Princess Amidala from Star Wars. But we got Larry Bird here. And even though this isn't starting lineup, this will definitely fit into my starting lineup collection because I have a whole shelf up here, which I'll put a little bit of footage in here right now. Editor Greg, he's got his work cut out for him. Show the starting lineup shelf that I have going on. I started this collection like last fall, and I got pretty heavily into it. And it got kind of out of control. But right here is Larry Legend, looking legendary himself, going up. And there is his back. It's Larry Bird. He's got the Bird jersey on there. He's got the short shorts, which are, I guess, coming back in fashion now. Maybe unfortunately. But there's Larry. And I'll have to figure out a way. I don't know if he has a stand or not. I'll figure out a way to position him so I can have him standing. I know sometimes with action figures, they make like those little clear things that have the thing that go around their waist. I know Clark has a few for his superheroes. I might have to snag one of those so we can put Larry on display. But there is Larry Bird and Larry's card. Does he look like him in real life? Any Larry Bird fans out there? I know he's from the 80s, so most of you probably weren't even alive. Janelle and I, we were. And there you go. That is from Janelle, big supporter of the channel, and she's just so awesome. That was very sweet of her to send this. And very cool. I do not have anything like this. I could see if Cody or Mrs. Brickatech, as she's known in some circles, would let me put this on the Christmas tree. We can put it by our yearly ornaments. She's like, what's Larry Bird doing up there? I'll be like, it's a part of my hobby. So Larry Bird coming in from Hallmark, and I'm tempted to save the box too. Should I? I don't know. We'll put Larry over here though, because I was going to use this as an opportunity. I mentioned, and Janelle mentioned, that we got into starting lineups at the end of last year. And I got a little carried away, as you saw from the shelf there, assuming that I did the proper editing on it. And I ended up getting some more that I never ended up making videos on or filming, and I thought today would be a great opportunity to do such things because this was my life last fall. I was just like, every time I had some downtime, I would just look on eBay and see what kind of deals I could find on starting lineups and just be scrolling. And if I found like a really good deal, I'd place a bid. And then on occasion, I would win them. And some of these are just full of a lot, literally a lot of starting lineups. And then a few of them, these top two, I believe, this came on October 10th. These are probably from around the same time, October 10th and October 15th. So October of 2024, I was getting a little out of hand with starting lineups. And while Larry looks on here from beside us, I'm going to show you all of the starting lineups that I've acquired since last year. And this was all pretty much around the same time. This one is October 9th and October 11th. So in 1 week's time, I did all of this. And then I was like, okay, this is getting a little out of hand. And I was going to make a video showcasing each one as it came in, but they all came at once and they just went into the storage room of doom where they were lost forever. Until today, thanks to Janelle, who inspired me to come back on this rainy day and open up some starting lineups. So if this isn't your thing, if you're not into the starting lineup scene, you could probably bail now. But if you'd like to just hang out with me and I'll talk about all this, I'm going to position the camera so you can see me opening these things a little better. My head might be cut off now, which could be a good thing. I'm going to open these up and share them with you here. And this is a hobby, I should say, that is not popular. I'm able to get these things super cheap. There's literally only one figure, maybe Larry too, but there's one figure in the NBA that happens to be one that people spend money on and collect, and that's exactly who I have right here. Let's see if you can guess who this is without me telling you. I'm gonna hold him up. I mean, this guy, he's about as famous from that time period. You knew two Michaels. You knew Michael, maybe three. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and Mike Tyson. Which one do we have here? We've got Michael Jordan, and I love this pose. This is a pre-owned one. I don't usually buy these pre-owned, but knew they were crazy expensive, and I'm not the type of guy to keep these in packages. I open them up and I put them on display because that's what they were intended for, which it feels kind of bad doing after like years and years of them being in boxes or in their bubbles. But you know what? They're unloved. Just like my eBay stuff, if it's unloved, it needs to go to somebody that's going to love it. And these are going to a guy that's going to love it. So we got Michael Jordan going onto display, and he could probably wipe the floor with most of the guys up there, if I'm being honest. I mean, you got some good players up there, though. But Michael Jordan, one of the best. So we have him now opened up after 7 months inside this box. I'll probably send this out to one of you guys, actually. It's a nice box. But we got another one. And I mean that quite literally. And you'll see after I open this, which I don't know what they sealed this with, but it's pretty redonkulous. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get in. This is crazy. I've never seen a box with literally the whole thing is taped. The whole entire box is taped. We might have to cut here. Maybe I'll cut and I'll come back when I find my way inside here, because I don't want to cut what's inside. Maybe we can just find a secret path in here. Literally sawing my way in right now. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do when it comes to the mail. Let's see if I can get him out of here. He not only has this entire thing taped up. I'm sorry if I'm being a little loud. I'm using a microphone here too for better audio. That was step one. And now step two. I'm gonna have to give this guy a 10 out of 10 on packaging. Like, to keep this safe. I feel inadequate now when I send my stuff out. I just do a little bubble wrap, but you don't have to spend 20 minutes trying to get into the stuff you guys send me. I'm curious to see how much bubble wrap he's used. How many feet did he include here? Let's unwrap it all. He's got about we're in layer 3 now. Holy buddy. He must have really felt like this was, he or she, must have felt like this was a collector's item worth taking care of. Can you tell who's coming out of here? Can you see that it is Michael Jordan? This was the other one that I really liked. I like the pose on this, and I think I got this one first. And then I was like, oh, I really love the pose on this. Or maybe it's one of those things where I had bids on both and I was hoping to win one. And then I ended up getting both. He's a little turned at the waist there. You can pose these guys up a little bit. I don't know if I've shown this before, but you can move their arms a little bit. So like Michael could be up like this if you want him going crazy. But there you go. That's what he looks like right there. And we now have two Michael Jordans. I'm almost thinking, like, is it having two of them too much on display? Like, is it weird having two of the same figure? I don't think so. Maybe it is, but I like this one. This is the one that I really like. I like that pose that he's in. In fact, I don't think I have any other. Oh, Allen Iverson, I think, is the only other one that's kind of similar to the pose that he's in. I have a few that are kind of like this though. So this one's probably going to be my primary Michael, and I'm excited to have those two. Those I actually sought out, and those are the only two that I bought used, already opened up, and they're both in fantastic condition. There is no problems with them at all, and I'd say it looks a lot like them. Unfortunately, I don't have the cards. I always save the cards too, but I don't have the card. So in this case, are you going to stand up, Michael? In this case, we'll have to do without. He does not want to stand up. You seeing that? Maybe we got to move his hands forward a little bit. Maybe like this. Yeah, I kind of like him like that, actually. With his one arm kind of out like that, I kind of like that. And that balances him a lot better, too. So, well, maybe. Come on, Michael. There he goes. He's finally standing. And now I just got a whole bunch of free bubble wrap that I can use to wrap your trains in if you order them from me. We'll get this out of the way. And I have some more things to share with you here. In case I got out of control. Let me try to level out this camera here. And I'd say we're good there. What's next? We got through that one. I'm just going to create a giant pile on the floor. Let's open up this one. I should probably figure out what I spent on all these too, because some of these, like, the whole purpose was to tell you the crazy deal that I got. You stay there, Michael, as he brandishes his weapon. I'm going to move this down even more. We're fighting the camera here. I need a cameraman. We need a filmer. Everybody's at school today. That's coming to an end, though, real soon. We got more starting lineups. And what did I get here? Okay, this is the one that I was hoping for. My favorite player as a kid growing up. It wasn't Michael Jordan necessarily. It was Shaquille O'Neal. I followed him the entire time he was at the Magic, and then on to the Lakers, and that was cool when they were winning championships. And I wanted an old school one where he was playing for the Magic, and I love the blue uniform there too. So I ended up getting Shaquille O'Neal, my favorite player, added to the collection. Didn't have him yet. He's a little bit harder to come across too, but here's a lineup, the starting lineup of the starting lineups on the back here. If you want to see everyone you can collect, let's see who else we got that really stands out. I really love that Patrick Ewing, because I like it when they're in those warm-up uniforms. I only have one that's like that, but I also like them in their regular stuff too, because it looks more like game owned or whatever, game played. We got Charles Barkley, who I already have as well, and Shaq going in. So we got him, and then this was a part of a lot, and I just got it because it was almost like the same price. Michael went down. I'm just going to lay him down because he's being troublesome. This was like the same price as just getting Shaq by himself. So we got Jerry Stackhouse of the 76ers, and I think I had this card back in the day. That looks very familiar. Jerry Stackhouse, not nearly as remembered as Shaquille O'Neal is, but both players of the 90s. What year are these from? 96 and 95. And this one, unfortunately, doesn't have anyone else on the back. It just shows the team logos. I love that Grizzlies logo from back in the day. All of these 90s logos are fantastic. I feel like we've gotten really boring as time goes by. Chicago Bulls still the same, though. But I love all of those, and I wish I could go back to that time. The 90s were so good. I don't know if it's because I was a kid, and everything's better when you're a kid. The world is worry-free, and you're just having a great time building Legos and collecting starting lineups. And now here we are doing it again in 2025. But we got two more for the collection. Going to be going up. I'm not going to open these right now, just because I know it's going to take more time, and this video is already going to be kind of long if you haven't noticed yet. This one, I remember this. This was from a lot that I got simply because it was too good of a deal to pass up. And I think I'm going to try to put these prices on here, or we'll look them up at the end of the video or something. This one was pretty darn good. In fact, why don't I get that information right now? That way I don't have to leave you wondering. Okay, this is a little painful now that I'm looking at this, especially this one. I don't know what I was thinking, but this Michael Jordan from 1995 was $23.78 shipped. What in the world was I thinking? Because usually these are like $3 or $4, but when you go for Michael Jordan, that's the one people want. Luckily, this other one, I say luckily, $14.30 after shipping and everything. And that's the one I like better. I kind of wish that I would have just got that one. Maybe I'll relist this one, because I could live without a second Michael Jordan, and if I could get 20 bucks back, that would be kind of good. Anybody need a Michael Jordan in their starting lineup collection? Does anyone actually collect starting lineups that's watching this? Probably not. Next one, the one that you saw last, the starting lineup, 95, 96, Shaquille O'Neal and Jerry Stackhouse, $16.96 ship. So basically, these two brand new for the price of Michael Jordan. So you can start to see the discrepancy here. I mean, we're throwing in Jerry Stackhouse, of course, but Shaquille O'Neal and Jerry, new in box, same price as a used Michael. Less than that Michael that we had there, so a little crazy. And then this last one that I'm about to show you, wow. This was $22.95, which again, this guy was $23.78. So I'm about to show you $22.95, cheaper than the single Michael Jordan. And when you see what's all inside here, you're going to be like, what were you thinking, Greg? I'm already thinking that myself. Now that I've had time to look back at how crazy I was on this. Needless to say, I haven't bought any since because I kind of was like, okay, I'm cutting myself off. But this one's just a lot of figures. And I'll just take you through these. We got a baseball figure, which I didn't have before, but I do have Mike Mussina now. And then another viewer sent us a few in the mail as well, which I'll show you towards the end of this video that I still have yet to open. This is, who is this? Garrett Anderson. I didn't really follow baseball then, so I don't know who Garrett Anderson is, but I'm always happy to add figures to the collection. In fact, I'm thinking about making a shelf down here in the studio just to put these guys on, or maybe my other action figures from my childhood. I would love to do that. And I was thinking either doing it on the back wall back here or where the minifig wall is over here if you watch our Lego channel, because that's like, it's kind of complete. It's not really getting added to, but if I put little shelves there, I could put so many action figures. Hey, this is a repeat offender. We got Dominique Wilkins, who I already have originally from my childhood collection. Unfortunately, he was playing for the Clippers then. I do like having him in the Hawks jersey. As you can see, that one got a little yellowed. That sometimes happens with light and just nature, as it tends to do. But we got Dominique Wilkins rocking the mustache. This is from, what year is this from? This paper's all in my face. 1988. This is the oldest one that I have. Usually the ones that I have are from the 90s. That one is from 96. The next one here, you might recognize this guy if you're a football fan. Laces out, Dan. We got Dan Marino. This is the 1997 Dan Marino. And also, I was thinking maybe I could recoup some of my costs because we also have the 1996 Dan Marino. Who did it better? Is it that Dan or that Dan? I kind of like the pose on that one. This kind of takes me back to when I was really into collecting cards. I would always look at the poses and be like, which pose do I like better? And I had a Troy Aikman that was in that pose when I was a kid. So I think I might go with this. And actually, Joe Montana's in that pose too, I think. A little bit close to it. I think I might go with this Dan as my Dan Marino, and then I might list this one to see if I can recoup a little bit of my costs on this, because we don't need two Dans. But again, for the cost of this, $22, I'm already up 4 figures already. Cheaper than a Michael Jordan. And then we've got one more, not a grand finale by any means, but we got Cal Ripken Jr. So now not only do we have Mike Mussina, who played for the Baltimore Orioles, we also have Cal Ripken Jr., and this one I'm definitely going to keep. This doesn't have any figures on the back of it. In fact, none of these do. Why'd they stop? Oh, this one does. I got to show this to you. This one's in rough shape, like the packaging, so I could never like resell this. In fact, like it's already open there at the bottom. Why don't we, should we just finish the job? Let's finish it. We have enough time here. Let's open up Cal Ripken Jr. coming out after 28 years in package. I've undone all the hard work of the starting lineup company. But there he is, Cal Ripken Jr. Looking pretty snazzy. Pretty snazzy. We got the focus? Oh yeah. Doing a great job. Thank you for that. So Cal Ripken Jr. coming in. Larry and Cal, they're like, what? Nice to meet you. Okay, I'm being silly now. All right, so we got Larry and Cal, and do we have anything else here? Is that all of them? Let me, you guys see anything else in there that I missed? I think I got everybody out of there. But again, all of that, including Cal, who's already opened, for $22. That shows you just how, and that's shipped. That shows you just how, I hate to say it, but worthless these figures are. Like, you're looking at $5 each, including shipping. So they're just not that valuable. But I really love them. I particularly like the football players because of, they got the helmets that come off. But I'm a basketball fan, so a lot of those players mean a lot to me. And here's some of the other ones you can get. You can get Troy Aikman. Man, Jerry Rice. You got Drew Bledsoe. These were the days before Tom Brady right there. And who else do we got? Deion Sanders is on there. We got 2 Cowboys. And Barry Sanders over there too. I had a Barry Sanders one as a kid. That's in with my toys. I should pull those out because they could go in the collection. Robert Brooks and the Green Bay Packers. Pretty cool. Jeff Blake, all those guys on there. And again, I'm not much of a baseball dude from around this time. I did collect 1993 Topps cards though, but this is from 1996. Sammy Sosa, I know him. Ken Griffey Jr., everybody knows Ken Griffey Jr. And who else do we got? Anybody else? Mo Vaughn, I feel like I've heard that name before. And Ken Caminiti. So baseball fanatics, I'm sorry to let you down on that one. Again, I'm more of a basketball guy, but I do like having the figures. And yeah, we got 5 more for that. So what did I spend on all of this? Oh gosh, Michael Jordan's kind of took it out of control, but I'll do the math here and I'll tell you what all this cost. Moment of truth, we're about to see the number that I don't want to see. $77.99. And again, most of that was in those 2 Michael Jordans, and that's the only place where my buyer's remorse is kind of kicking in. This guy right here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and list him on eBay, and hopefully there's someone that comes along that's willing to buy. There has to be, right? Like, just so I can get my money back off of that. And I think I'm also gonna list that other Dan Marino. I can't even get him to stand up. I'm gonna list this Dan Marino just to see if I can get any bites on it. Probably not gonna do well there. And I think I'm gonna keep everybody else. The baseball players, I might. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get anything for these, so I might as well just keep them for my collection. But if I could sell these 2, and maybe what I should do, or could do, maybe I shouldn't do, is whatever proceeds I get from these, maybe I'll go ahead and reinvest into more starting lineups. This is dangerous, though. When I start looking on there, that's all it takes. Like, you just have a little bit of downtime, and you're like, oh, we're just watching something. Let me just go through. Oh, there's a good deal, and you click it, and then you bid. And like I said, this is like 1 week. I just went on a binge of these. And then I didn't do anything with them. Like the series was kind of started, and I showed off my collection and some of the ones I was getting, and then it kind of just like came to a halt. But thanks to Janelle, one of our biggest supporters across all of our channels, not even a starting lineup, didn't even take a starting lineup to get me back. It was just an excuse for me to be like, okay, let me show off these ones that I have that were sitting in the storage room. Literally, these boxes have been sitting in there this whole time, but now I'm finally showing them off and I'm back at it. And speaking of supporters, I got some other ones to show you as well. This box right here is full of starting lineups that we got in the mail from another fan. I can't remember the name now. I'm so sorry, but these all hockey ones. So these are our only hockey ones that I have. So we'll put the hockey players on the collection. We got Sean Kemp playing for the Cavs, which is interesting because he was usually Supersonics. And then we've got Alonzo Mourning, which I do have another one. And this would be another opportunity, I guess, for me to come over and get some footage of the shelf. And we could probably split some of this into the thing earlier. I'll put some better lights on this so you can actually see it. I don't know if that helps or not, but these are the ones from my childhood right over here. And then these are all of the ones that I was collecting after I started getting a little crazy into this. And you can see them all there, but I want to give them a proper shelf. Like, this is like a Lego shelf. This is like a hodgepodge. All of my spaces are. I want to do a proper shelf for action figures and starting lineups. So I'm going to work on that here. Use our rainy days to try to figure something out for that, and hopefully give these guys the presentation they deserve now that they're out of their packaging after sometimes 30 years or more, and finally loved by somebody. It feels good to finally have this all done, out in the open. My secret collection revealed, obsession revealed possibly. I don't know what it is about these that I like. I guess it just takes me back to being a kid, and I just love action figures in general. So like, this is just, I just love them. And it's interesting collecting a thing that no one else is interested in. It's not like Pokemon cards, which everyone's clamoring for. These things, oftentimes you can't even give away. But if there's always somebody out there that has an interest, and I guess that person's me in this situation. Speaking of interest, thank you so much for your interest in this video. If you survived this far, thank you for watching our channel, supporting our family. Everything you guys do for us is just awesome, and I really do appreciate you. And Janelle, thank you for the Larry, and of course, we'll see you all in the next video. Maybe it'll be a sunny day. If I wait a week to make a video, we'll have another sunny day out there. So on that, have a glorious one, and I'll see you in the next starting lineup video. If you want Dan Marino, or if you want any other, the Mother Michael Jordan, he'll be on eBay. Probably still sitting there waiting for you too. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.